All right, I'm going to talk a little bit about blinds in Black Ops. So, blinds are playing cards placed face down on the table. I use little counters made out of D6s instead, just because they can move between pieces of terrain more easily. They used to represent the fog of war, as an enemy won't know exactly where the enemy has deployed. So, alright, so we got a little situation here. We got our green team and some additional guys on a blind, or who knows, maybe it's just a blank blind with no one there. Anyways, how do you move it without letting your opponent know what's there? Because we're activating with cards, right? And certain things activate on certain cards. So if you pull a jack and it moves, then they're going to know something, not an ace is there, not a specialist. It's probably going to be a unit, a group of soldiers. So it's giving away information. I've thought the best way to activate and move these, for me, of course, this is all my opinion, but moving without letting your opponent know it's there, you wait till whatever it is you've got. Say you've got an ace and some jacks on your team. You pull your ace card first, right? Got it right here. Red ace. Maybe your aces move, right? Say he's an ace. He'll go out here. But you'll hold on to that card aside from the used pile, right? Pull the next card. Jack. Whatever goes in the used pile. These guys activate. Once you get a... there we go. There we go. The jacks go, which also allows all these guys, which are normal soldiers, to go. And now that we have both an ace and a jack, and that's all, right? Because supposedly our warband consists, or our squad consists only of aces and jacks. Supposedly everything that's under there is able to move. So this is kind of weird. If you know the reserve rules for this game, yeah, I'm kind of using it almost like that. You would get your ace first, put him on reserve, right, in a group with within 3 inches of others. Then when you get the jacks, they would activate, and since the ace is on reserve within 3 inches, they're all moving together. I know this is fucking wordy, but I'm just trying to explain the rules and then how I attack this problem. So now that supposedly anything on that blind should have been able to activate, it's going to activate. And you take both the cards that you were saving, you put them in the activated pile, right? Then you're moving your blinds, and I'm thinking, normal move is 6 inches. Running makes it so you can't be hidden. It also produces noise, so it would probably not be, it wouldn't gel with being, hidden in the way that these guys are when you're blinded or when you're a blind. So I'm saying they can move 6 inches, and that's it. So he'd be able to flank over here, and we'd have a potential threat for these guys now over here. Now, one thing about this, so I want to show one other thing about using blinds this way. Now, supposedly, everyone gets 2 actions. You got the aces with their 2 aces, and then the jack. Everyone else is, or not the jack, sorry, the joker, and everyone else has got, 2 cards that they activate on. So, what if this happens? Since the blind is waiting to activate once all 3, or whatever, conglomeration, say we've got a ace, a specialist, and some jacks. And that's all the team consists of. this ace could be any, or this blind could be any one of those. So we're waiting to activate it, and we're drawing. We get the ace card, we get the next ace card, we get the third ace card. It still hasn't activated, right? Because we're waiting for anything that would possibly be on our team. And this time we said it's aces, queens, specialists, and the jacks, right? So we haven't drawn all three yet. We've gone through all of the ace activation cards. Get a specialist card. Get the next specialist card. So all the aces should have activated, all the specialists should have activated, or be on reserve, right? So, and then we finally get the jack, and now we've got all the three suits, right? We've got our aces, our specialist on queen, and then finally a card to activate our normal soldiers, and those are then can all go in the activated card pile, and this will make its up to 6-inch move, right? Because that's just what we're going with. Then all that's left in the deck for activation is one more Joker card, right? And the turn ends. We have to reshuffle the whole deck. So that blind's only getting one activation, rather than the normal 2 that we'd expect all units to get. One thing I like to allow for in my games is on activation. So, like I've just described, whenever you get enough cards, all the suits required to activate your blinds, you'll probably be moving more than one blind too. You're allowed 6, and you don't even have to put a unit under each. Some of them can be empty blinds where there's nothing, and you can fake out your opponent, and it'll just disappear when they see it or whatever. Anyways, one thing I like to allow for is, instead of a blind needing to be seen by your opponent to be revealed, when it activates, you can either choose to move your blind, or you can voluntarily reveal it, and so you put down any units within 3 inches of it, because I'm not using the card area, so give a little area within 3 inches of that, and just like if it was seen, but you can do it by choice. And so most of the information about blinds is on this page in the book, 23. That kind of is the first mention of them, and then a further part up here. I've got some notes for this video in here. This is another little section about when blinds are, when and who gets to use blinds, and that's what I'm going to talk about next. Alright, so you can read the rules if you have the book, obviously, but I'm going to just shorten, it and say, on Mission A, both players can, that's the only mission where both players are allowed to use blinds at the same time. So that's the only one where both players will be using blinds. On Assault and Breakout, Mission B and C, and along with all of the stealth missions, it is only the defender who is allowed to have blinds. So that's when blinds are allowed. This is, again, by the scenario campaign rules. Just defenders always allowed to have blinds. Attackers only allowed blinds on the Mission A encounter. So, and that's pretty much it. Like I said, this is the other page you can find the blind information on, 33. Oh, one last quick thing here. So, say this is your full team. You got, say we've got a heavy here, right? We're going to put him under a blind, one of our 6 blinds. And so we'll start the game. We've got these 3 deployed, moving around. We've got all 6 of our blinds, remember, because we can always put down 6 blinds as long as we're the defender, or if we're the, like I said, attacker in the encounter mission. So we've got our 6 blinds moving around, trying to get as close as possible or into a good position, and our enemy doesn't know which of those our heavy is under. so they can try and, see some. They'll probably observe some and they'll disappear. Hopefully we'll be able to maneuver. Of course, we'll know which counter he's under, and we will try and maneuver that one into the best position for him to be revealed and start opening up on them. All right, that's everything I know about blinds.